The INFJ has been called everything from misunderstood genius to emotional manipulator. Still, their darker side isn't just a personality quirk, it's a psychological weapon born from a rare mix of empathy and intuition. They're the rarest type on the Myers-Briggs spectrum, which only adds to the enigma. Once you step inside their secretive inner world, you have to wonder, what if that sanctuary is fueling a hidden agenda? This isn't just about quirks or harmless secrets. The INFJ's strengths can twist into something far more dangerous when left unchecked. And the trait that can tip their kindness into cruelty? What if the person who seems to understand everyone else is the one person you'll never honestly know? Before we start, please hit the like button, comment, and subscribe so you won't miss any of our weekly deep dives into the world of personality types. And if you are looking to achieve a deeper understanding of yourself and your personality type, click the link in the comments to take our favorite free personality test. Number 1. Their hidden inner world that nobody can access. For the INFJ, the world inside is vast, layered, intricate, and fiercely protected from outside eyes. What you see is only a fraction. This hidden landscape isn't just private, it's a sanctuary built to shield against chaos, misunderstanding, and disappointment. Even those closest rarely witness the full scope of their thoughts. But when the INFJ is struggling, that inner world can take a darker turn, sometimes spiraling into morbid fantasies or worst-case scenarios that even they struggle to escape. This secrecy is both armor and prison. INFJs reveal just enough to make others feel close, while their real motives and fears stay locked away. The same mind that crafts deep insights can fixate on slights or invent stories that don't match reality, leading to unpredictable actions. Sometimes that means acting on assumptions no one else even knows exist, turning their hidden world into a tool for subtle manipulation. But this hidden vault doesn't just keep you out, it can trap them in dark scenarios they might act on. Number 2, they understand human psychology better than most therapists. For the INFJ, reading people isn't a party trick, it's instinct. You might walk into a room and sense a mood, but the INFJ can map out who's hiding pain, who's pretending to laugh, and who's about to break. They notice the micro expressions, the subtle shifts in body language, the way a voice trembles for just a second. It's as if they're tuned into a frequency most people never hear. With this depth of understanding, INFJs often anticipate reactions before others have even had a chance to process the moment. Sometimes it feels like they're guiding the conversation before you know where it's going. They use these insights to offer comfort, advice, or a sense of safety, making others feel seen in ways that are rare and deeply moving. But there's a shadow to this gift. When the INFJ feels threatened or misunderstood, this same skill can become a quiet form of control. They know which words will lift someone and which ones will quietly unravel their confidence. So, they're gifted with insight, but will they use it to build trust or to pull the strings? Let's find out next. Number 3, their ability to manipulate emotions without detection. INFJs carry a risk that few ever see coming. When their motives shift from empathy to self-interest, their intuitive grasp of human psychology can quietly steer the feelings of everyone around them. They don't need to raise their voice or make a scene. A single, well-timed word, a gentle pause, a knowing look is often all it takes to shift the mood, nudge a decision, or leave someone questioning their instincts. Most people never realize they've been guided at all. This influence can be a force for inspiration, comfort, or growth. An INFJ can rally a team with a quiet message or help a friend see hope where none existed. But the line blurs when they believe they know what's best. Research warns that INFJs might rationalize subtle manipulation as helping, convinced their guidance is for a greater good, even as they quietly pull the strings. Imagine confiding in someone who always seems to know exactly what to say. Are you being supported, or are you being led somewhere you never intended to go? They can guide hearts without detection, but how far will they take this power? Coming up, the justification they use to cross the line. Number 4, they can rationalize any behavior as morally justified. When you're driven by a vision so vivid it feels like destiny, it's easy to believe the ends will always justify the means. For an unhealthy INFJ, this is where the danger begins. Their ideals aren't just dreams, they're blueprints for how life should unfold. Every line, every rule, every sacrifice seems necessary if it brings the world closer to their imagined perfection. If a shortcut or a harsh decision serves the greater mission, they might convince themselves it's not just acceptable, it's required. This moral certainty can become a shield, blocking out doubts or opposing voices. The INFJ's compass is powerful, but when it's locked onto a single vision, it can override empathy and sideline the needs of others. They might see disagreement as ignorance, and any challenge to their ideals as a threat to progress. In that space, even actions that hurt people or cross ethical lines can feel justified, because in their mind, it's all for the greater good. Their ideals can shine bright, or blind them completely. Next, discover how perfectionism locks them into a trap of their own making. Number 5, their perfectionist tendencies can turn obsessive and controlling. Perfection isn't just a goal for the INFJ, it becomes a measuring stick for every action, every word, every outcome. The drive to excel can push you to the top of your game, but it also carves out a silent battlefield inside your mind. According to a 2010 study, INFJs are especially vulnerable to perfectionism that can spiral into unhealthy territory, even linking to disordered eating when the pressure to meet impossible standards turns inward. The cost? You scrutinize every detail, never satisfied, convinced that anything less than flawless is failure. This obsession doesn't stay hidden. In group projects, you might start picking apart every contribution, quietly fixing mistakes until others feel like spectators in their work. What you call ensuring success, they experience as suffocating control. The group's energy collapses under the weight of your standards, and the trust you crave slips further away. Burnout isn't the only fallout. Wait until you see how betrayal turns off their empathy entirely. Number 6, they hold grudges longer than any other personality type. INFJs don't just remember a slight, they feel it, deep and unyielding. When someone breaks their trust, it's not a wound that fades with time. The memory lingers, sharpened by their keen emotional recall. Every word, every look, every moment of betrayal replays in their mind long after everyone else has moved on. For the INFJ, it's not just the act that hurts, it's the sense that something sacred was broken. This isn't about petty bitterness. INFJs pour so much of themselves into relationships that when they're hurt, it shakes the foundation of who they are. Their introspective nature keeps them circling back to the details, but what makes it more complicated is how rarely they let others in. Instead of seeking outside perspective, they turn the betrayal over in private, dissecting motives and searching for meaning alone. The result is a grudge that quietly shapes how they trust, connect, and protect themselves moving forward. Grudges forge boundaries, but at what cost? Next, their superpower of empathy, the ultimate weapon, can vanish in an instant. Number 7, their intuition makes them expert lie detectors and liars. You might think you're good at hiding the truth, but an INFJ's intuition can see straight through the act. Their mind scans for the tiniest cues, a pause that lingers, a glance that slips, a story that doesn't quite fit. To them, deception is lit up in their mind's eye, impossible to ignore. They catch the things most people never notice, making them nearly impossible to fool. But that same intuition cuts both ways. When the situation calls for it, an INFJ can craft a lie so tailored, so precise, it fits perfectly with what you want or need to believe. Their understanding of human psychology enables them to craft stories that withstand scrutiny, using just enough truth to make the fiction feel authentic. Whether it's to protect themselves, shield someone they care about, or navigate a tense professional moment, their lies are never careless. They're calculated, intentional, and delivered with a calm that disarms suspicion. This double-edged gift raises a quiet question. Does their intuition serve honesty, or does it become a tool for strategic deception? They catch every falsehood and slip into deception themselves. Coming up, the moment when empathy, their greatest strength, can vanish without warning. Number 8. They can completely shut off empathy when they feel betrayed. For the INFJ, empathy is a lifeline until betrayal snaps the cord. The moment trust is broken, something inside them shifts. According to research, this isn't cruelty. It's a survival defense mechanism. The INFJ's mind draws a line, protecting itself from further harm by shutting down the very superpower that once connected them so deeply to others. This emotional shutdown is unmistakable. Where warmth once lived, you'll find a wall of cold detachment. The INFJ, who once listened for hours, now greets you with silence, their presence suddenly distant and unreadable. Sometimes this withdrawal is accompanied by a flash of unexpected rage, a storm that startles anyone accustomed to their calm. It's not about punishing the other person, it's about self-preservation, creating a barrier against pain that cuts too deep to risk again. But the cost is steep. The longer they stay behind that wall, the more isolated they become. Relationships wither, and the INFJ's rare gift for connection becomes a shield that keeps everyone out. Their empathy returns only when they choose to find out when such things happen. The INFJ's gifts, empathy, intuition, and vision, are a double-edged sword that can heal or harm. Their rare insight shapes destinies, but unchecked, it can unravel trust and reshape lives in ways even they can't predict. Are INFJs misunderstood visionaries walking a lonely road, or are they idealists at risk of being blinded by their convictions? Suppose you found this eye-opening. Like and subscribe to join our community of introspective thinkers. What part surprised you most, or challenged what you thought you knew? If you want to continue the journey to understanding yourself or an INFJ in your life, click either of the following videos, where we continue to unlock the secrets of the INFJ personality type